Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. Got a good one for you, and I just wanted to show you a picture and preface this conversation with one of my first bikes. This is my '86 Honda NS400R, and it is a 400cc two-stroke. And I say it was my second bike, or I think it was my third bike, but my first bike was a little YSR50, a Yamaha YSR50. It's a little two-stroke 250 or 50cc, and this is my second bike, and it was the one I had for a long time before I did an upgrade and went to the R6, R1, and then finally I went to a CBR. So I had a number of bikes, and they were all enjoyable and little crotch rockets, right? This one is not super fast, but it was certainly a fun bike to learn on because I'm not too sure if you guys are familiar with two-stroke engines, but they're very high strung, all the power's up on the top RPM. Very similar to like Honda VTEC cars, right? A lot of the power's all on the top, revs really high, and it's lots of fun. Now here's a picture of my Honda Repsol replica 1000RR. So it's a CBR Fireblade 1000RR. So basically it's a leader bike, and certainly it was the one that really, you know, solidified my soft spot for Honda cars, and I can say that I've been riding. Well, at that time when I got it, I was probably had about 10, 11, or 12 seasons under my belt, around there. And then when I got this bike, I probably had it for about 5 seasons or so. 2005, and that was the first year they did the Repsol Racing replica of the RC211V, and certainly a stunning bike. It was, you know, obviously it got a lot of attention, and it certainly had enough power to have the badging anyway. I think it was, you know, anyways, either way, these type of bikes, they're really fast, 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. If you can, you know, get traction, that is, right? And it came with the power, came a lot of responsibility. I would admit that when I was young, when I rode, I was a bit of a you know, a wheelie monster, and I can admit that you know, he obviously speeding these things, right? And I can admit that I have the tickets to show it. So I, you know, definitely got caught before, but it's all in the part of the riding game, I guess, right? Comes a lot of responsibility. So on to the part where I do a bit of a comparison. I said, what is the difference between a Cyberbeast Cybertruck and a CBR1000R? So this is the new, latest 2023 Honda CBR Fireblade, and it's so outrageous. It has an extra R behind it at the end, and it is the official name is actually CBR1000RR-R, and they have, so the first similarity is that they have just ridiculous names like Cyberbeast for a car, right? Both can do under 3 seconds, 0 to 60, and it is available to anyone with spare, you know, a lot of spare money. And they certainly both look really cool. So this is the CBR1000. As you could see that it's in the anniversary racing colors. Typically is that HRC red, white, and blue. Beautiful bike, and I'm sure it has over 150, 160 horsepower, if not 100, almost 200. and the MSRP is about $29,000. And of course, you guys already have seen this Cybertruck Cyber Beast. It is certainly polarizing and at least cool, to say the least. Very aggressive styling, very angular. Nothing like it on the road except the Pontiac Aztec. If you guys know what that is, look it up. It'll blow your mind. I read that online somewhere. I know it certainly is pretty funny. So on to the reason why I'm making this video. Here is what the headlines are. Tesla Cybertruck suffers catastrophic failure with a family inside. Right? What failed? The steering and the brakes. What else can be worse than losing those two things? Right? So here's the difference. The difference between a CBR1000RR-R compared to a cyber-based Cybertruck. Number one is that the CBR is about 430 pounds wet. That includes all the fluids and oil and fuel in wet. That's 430 pounds. The Cybertruck is 6,500 pounds. It's a projectile that is, projectile without control whatsoever is a huge concern and an understatement, really. And another difference, all the CBR controls are fully mechanical, while the Cybertrucks is all digital. And I know you guys mentioned that the Cybertruck has, redundancies, a bunch of redundancies, but really, right, it's gonna fail. It's all bound to happen, right? So here's the latest thing: catastrophic failure with a across the country road trip. A fellow named Matthew Chiarello in Phoenix. So basically, the brakes and steering had failed as he drove his wife and toddler. Production of the Cybertruck was scheduled to start late 2021, but it actually started in July 2023, and the price varies, and you get it for $100,000. Experts still have some questions, and it stirred a lot of questions online, and here's the actual post. Love my Cybertruck, but the catastrophic failure with my brakes and steering while on a road trip with my toddler is pretty not good. Oh, and service center not open today. Crazy, absolutely not. And here's the big mechanical difference between the Cybertruck and the rest of the vehicles on the road right now anyway. There's no mechanical connection from the steering wheel and brake pedal. There's actually, so let me say that again, there's actually no mechanical connection from the steering wheel and the brake pedal at all. What a crazy world, right? And this is a 6,500 pound plus stainless steel sharp, looks like a knife to me, going careening down the road, right? I've made a video on this before, I think probably about a month ago, and it was questioning whether this truck that has all the controls being digital includes the brake by wire and steer by wire. Steering wheel and the brake pedal is digital. It goes into a box which controls the car itself. And sure enough, everyone came out and said that there's, triple redundancies, airplanes and farm equipment, farm equipment and construction equipment is, sorry for laughing, but yeah, farm equipment is steer by wire. Okay, sure. And I know airplanes, I guess you know, it has to be steer-by-wire because, you know, planes are so big. The distance between you know, where the cockpit is and the rudders in the back, of course, is going to be steer-by-wire, right? But I digress. I mean, I'm not an engineer, so who am I supposed to say, right? So, just a valid question. Would you trust a new car company, right, like Tesla, with this type of new technology, or would you trust, let's say, Toyota? Because Toyota does have the RZ. The RZ is also steer-by-wire, and I tended to trust Toyota. Toyota's not perfect, by the way, but however, I will say that the legacy automakers take things slowly. They do things slowly, and there's actually a reason why things are implemented slowly. And it's not like that go fast, break things mentality, because we're talking about people's lives and, you know, at stake, right? And if there's anything that doesn't work properly, you know, NHTSA and, you know, all the other safety governors in all over the world would be all over the automaker to do recalls. And this type of issue, if it does become a recall, you can't actually fix it. It's an inherent design issue. So, you know, expect stop sales and all sorts of crazy things. If you guys look at some of the other things that are already recalled, those hubcaps that is on the wheels, those ones that you see, are actually recalled. You guys can look it up, and you'll be surprised. It's just as the car rolls, those hubcaps actually scratch against the tires and actually have a high probability of puncturing the tire. Yeah, believe it. And, you know, if you can't design a hubcap properly, I would not trust them with steer-by-wire, brake-by-wire, all these electric, you know, systems to control the car, and without no mechanical redundancy, like fallback. It's quite a risk. So you guys tell me what you think. This always draws a lot of attention, and I will, you know, admit that I'm not an engineer or a mechanic or anything like that, but yeah, it's just surprising, right? You know, this car is gonna, or this truck's gonna draw a lot of attention, and trust me, this is gonna continue on until, you know, they do a stop sale on it, right? And here's a final note and another shot of the stunning Honda CBR1000RR-R. And basically, when people who buy this bike and ride it, they have a pretty big responsibility, like I said before, right? And the difference is, when you buy a Cybertruck, right, anyone with money can buy it. And unfortunately, you can just drive it like an idiot, basically, right? You ride a bike like an idiot, you will pay dearly. You don't respect the power, and you don't respect the bike and what it can do, you will pay for it, and you will pay for it dearly, and typically it's the rider that pays for it, right? And you can only take one passenger, but a lot of times it's the rider by himself that pays dearly, pushing the limits. Anyone can get a Cybertruck Cyber Beast and test out a 0 to 60 and just, you know, push it, and they are riding on, like I said, a 6,500 plus pound projectile that can possibly lose control, right? Digitally lose control because of the steer-by-wire and brake-by-wire fails. Completely lose control. It's absolutely crazy. And again, what a crazy world, right? Hopefully it doesn't happen, you know, because It's gonna be disheartening when, you know, anything happens. Always these crazy stories in this crazy world. So you guys keep safe out there, and you see any of these beasts running around, just be careful. You guys take care and have a great night.